Everyone, welcome to this incredible episode of The Barbershop. We are in a different environment. We are with a legend of Indian retail. Mr. Damodar Mal is a mentor to a lot of people in the ecosystem, whether it is brands, whether it is retailers, whether it is founders of startups. You will see that the richness of insight is tremendous. Sir, thank you so much for coming on The Barbershop and for hosting us in this beautiful store.
Lovely to be here, and Shantanu, welcome to Smart Bazaar where we are sitting. People have higher purchasing capacity, which is the potential energy,
Correct.
but they have lower purchasing habits.
Correct.
None of us today consume to our today's income. When a customer enters a store like ours, she has already crossed on her way here 10 more convenient ways to buy grocery.
Correct. She's chosen you and she's gone past other places.
So she's not looking for convenience. Around our store, you will see communication like, अब कोल्ड ड्रिंक के लिए मैं मेहमानों का इंतजार नहीं करती. अब गिन चुन के काजू बादाम खाने के दिन गए. So even in what we are nudging and suggesting, we are saying, chill. आपके अच्छे दिन आ गए हैं. Retail is a very Darwinian place. You can change the layout today, and 1 week later you will know whether it worked or not. So that's what I was doing. I don't measure people as winners or losers. I measure them as winners and opportunity losers.
Everyone, welcome to this incredible episode of The Barbershop. We are in a different environment. We are with a legend of Indian retail. And Mr. Damodar Mal is a mentor to a lot of people in the ecosystem, whether it is brands, whether it is retailers, whether it is founders of startups, sales organizations. And if you follow him on LinkedIn or read his books, and we'll talk about this in some more detail, you will see that the richness of insight is tremendous. So I'm really looking forward. He had come to our offices a few weeks back, and for me that 1 hour was jam-packed, and I just kind of keep listening to him. And I'm really excited about your next 2 hours listening to Mr. Mal. Sir, thank you so much for coming on The Barbershop and for hosting us in this beautiful store.
Lovely to be here, and Shantanu, welcome to Smart Bazaar where we are sitting. And the store will soon open and get busy.
Yes.
I look forward to the
The moment you told our team that 7:30 in the morning we will start, I was like very excited. And then the team was like, don't shoppers start coming? And we said, even if they do, that's fine. We are in the middle of what you call the theater of dreams. And let me actually go back to, and I know we had a format for the conversation, but given the fact that you've already started talking and I had a couple of questions in mind,
Sure.
I'll change it a little bit. But you spoke about the fact that retail is almost like drama, and even right now you said you call it a theater of choice. Like when a shopper comes in, she comes in with an agenda, but you want to create this environment which makes her uncomfortable, and you called it breaking her shopping list. And it's a very scientific psychological approach to giving a shopper an experience that is truly differentiated and world class. But talk about that aspect of theater of choice.
Yeah, so I'll step back to a point of view that we carry, and that defines all the design of our platforms that we do. Our point of view is income increases in India are recent. Therefore, people have higher purchasing capacity, which is the potential energy,
Correct.
but they have lower purchasing habits.
Correct.
None of us today consume to our today's income. Because what is need and what is indulgence was defined for all of us when our family incomes were a fraction of growing up. Family incomes were a fraction.
Correct.
And a householder is my primary target group. So somebody who's working, has a school-going child, that's my definition of a target customer. So there is higher potential energy. So if they like something, they want to buy, but there is no habit. So our entire endeavor is to say that your new income, everyday joys become a good expression of your new income. I will create a place where you start exercising the freedom that a little higher income gives you through simple things, simple everyday things of life. So, therefore, the design always is saying you come with a list, but I get the customer in the mood to ask 2 questions. And our entire store answers those 2 questions. And those 2 questions are, one, इस बार नया क्या है? What's new? And second, offer पे क्या है? What's deal?
Okay.
So that's
नया क्या है और ऑफर पे क्या है?
नया क्या है, ऑफर पे क्या है? And we are continuously selling more premium products. Each one of them wrapped in value.
Okay.
Because everybody is uptrading. I think everybody has the capacity to uptrade. We just have to make it easy. So if uptrade is a step up in life, our stores convert that step into a ramp and make it feel like everybody is uptrading. Everybody is walking up.
Feels gradual.
It's gradual, effortless. If you go to our soap section, we make it look like everyone is buying Dove and Pears. And most people end up buying Dove and Pears.
Wow.
It's not that the Lakh and Hammam and Santoor are not kept. They are all there. But through design and the way we present, we take a Pears or a Dove. I'm from Levers, by example, keeps coming from Levers, and say, Dove tells you why it is aspirational to buy a Dove. The retailer tells you, if you buy it today, I'll make it simpler for you. Buy 2 bars and save 20 rupees. So we make sure that the physical or the mental shopping list that the customer has, comfortably she learns to grow out of the shopping list and start asking, what do I have to discover today? And it happens. Then it's a virtuous cycle. She takes home the simple joys of life. She knows she has saved money while doing so, but in the process she has uptraded, done simple things for her family. Around our store you will see communication like, अब कोल्ड ड्रिंक के लिए मैं मेहमानों का इंतजार नहीं करती. अब गिन चुन के काजू बादाम खाने के दिन गए. So even in what we are nudging and suggesting, we are saying, chill, आपके अच्छे दिन आ गए हैं. So that's what we play on, and therefore we keep creating choice for this customer.
But it's very different from what the general rhetoric of Indian consumption is, which may still be true in a large way, but breaking it might involve incrementality, right? Which is, India is a very value market. Yesterday, Deepak, my co-founder and CEO, and we will meet him today, was telling me about how everyone struggles to go outside the 10 rupee pack. For example, Colgate, in UP, BR especially, 10 rupee ka CDC, 11 rupee karne mein, 12 rupee karne mein, even adding something extra to that product, the volume just crashes to half, which shows that, that maybe it's a retailer not wanting change. Maybe it could be something it may not be demand driven, it could be convenience driven. But I was talking to another friend of mine at Britannia, and he said, yaar, wo 10 rupees ka good day ka pack hai, wo 10 rupees ka good day ka pack is the largest selling SKU by a distance, by volume, by value. And increasing the price is almost impossible. Even if you add like a biscuit, add some more grammage, put some more cashews, you cannot make that 12 rupees. And so that is one rhetoric of India, which is so value conscious.
So I'm saying clearly, there is India, and there is what I call supermarket India or super app India. There is enough data now, behavior data, that these two are different worlds.
Is it? But is the same consumer in two different?
Yes, but her behavior is different. You mentioned Good Day. The biggest selling pack of Good Day on our platform is a 600 gram pack.
Half a kilo of biscuits.
There is a 1 kg pack of biscuits. And yesterday we were with the Britannia team, as I mentioned. Oftentimes the largest quantity of biscuits that we sell are Britannia Nutri-Choice Digestive or Sunfeast Dark Fantasy. So this is
Bigger than Good Day.
Bigger than Good Day in terms of number of units sold.
Wow.
Our biggest selling pack of Parle-G, as mass as you can get, is the Parle-G 1 kg pack. So this is a different world. This is where, see, क्या होता है? These are air-conditioned stores.
Correct.
While we call ourselves inclusive retailers, etc., etc., in the fuller India, relatively higher SEC people shop here.
Correct.
Yeah. And जिसके पास पैसे नहीं होते हैं, वो कम खरीद के पैसे बचाता है.
हाँ.
जिसके पास पैसे होते हैं, वो ज़्यादा खरीद के पैसे बचाता है.
कैसे? Say more.
So, because पैसे बचाना is a constant.
Correct.
That's a psychological need.
Continue चाहिए मेरे को. हाँ.
Yeah. So, जिसके पास पैसे नहीं होते, he will buy the 5 rupee Parle-G.
Correct.
जिसके पास पैसे होते हैं, वो बोलेगा Parle-G तो रोज लगता रहता है.
2 महीने का एक साथ खरीदो.
Why don't I buy for a month and save money? So both are saving money, but their expression is different. So the biggest selling pack of shampoos that we sell is the 500 ml shampoo. Biggest selling pack of chai that we sell is the 1 kg chai. And this runs across categories. So, and it's not that for trying out a new product, people start at the lower end, smaller SKU, nothing. People buying, we have a 1 kg digestive pack from Britannia. People buying that 1 kg pack, 60% of them are new to the brand.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
But why are they investing so much? Because they just feel like they will like it. It looks like.
पैसे हैं. You make sense to me. I am open. I call this our monthly Swayamvar. She has all the power.
Yeah.
You grab her interest. You say this is the sensible way to be. You deserve it. Or as L'Oreal says, you are worth it.
You're worth it.
Yeah. And she takes you home. It is no longer the baby steps. So that syntax of consumption and brand building for this new supermarket India customer, that syntax is changed.
You're still giving value, but you're right. You're now creating a pantry inside her household in a way, because she's now investing in 1 kilo of biscuits or 5 kilos of chai over 1 kilo or whatever it is. Like, she's creating pantries, still creating value, but keeping inventory at home to use, and then if it will save money.
All of us, irrespective of our income levels, are under consumers of every category.
Really?
Yes. We dose our detergent less than our Asian peer do. Okay. We use less personal care products.
So right. You're so right. Just yesterday.
We use less toilet cleaner.
Yes.
Yeah. And when we know that people say, yeah, you pantry load biscuits or you pantry load juices or snacks, so consumption badega. Say no. You pantry load detergent, consumption badega. You pantry load toilet cleaner, and this is not me. This is Reckitt hopping guys finding out that if you pantry load toilet cleaner, consumption goes up by 14%.
So if you have it, you use it.
You don't miss a consumption occasion because you already have a backup. It gets stocked out. You're not waiting for the next shopping trip. Otherwise, a typical Indian household, naya to branded toilet cleaner, doesn't matter. Thoda, detergent dal diya ho gaya. Now that occasion does not get missed. So you have to, when you believe that, I'm coming back to the point of view, when you believe that people have the potential energy to spend, they're confident, and they're under consumers, then you will design everything that you do, products, packaging, presentation, celebration, activation, you will do to this point of view. And I think what I'm saying will be valid for another 10 years at least. She hasn't pushed back. I keep testing what I think is ye no ball hoga, this will be wrong. We did 4 kilos of detergent, she didn't push back. We did 6 kilos of detergent, 6 kilos of machine wash detergent. Lever started asking, ye kya upma banate hain ghar pe? But she didn't push back. But now the market has started learning. tentatively, पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं, as you know, we say, they launched machine washed liquid, 500 ml pack, 1 liter pack in nice bottles, etc., etc. 3 months later, we told them, whoever is buying it is buying multiples. Please launch a pouch. Earlier, people would take 3 years to do that development. Now people trust and, guys like me, हमारी बात सुनते हैं. So in 3 months, they created the pouch, 2 liter pouch.
Okay.
And the category exploded. They had a 5-year runway that, in India, liquid detergents will grow over a period of time, etc., etc. But in supermarket India, different thing played out. And, 95% of what we sell is all the scan data, so we get to see everything.
Correct.
So we said, even 2 liter pack, people are buying multiples. So they launched an even bigger liquid pack. Long story short, in a matter of less than a year, on our platform, detergent liquids from nothing sell more than machine washed detergents, powders. So whole category, which
On its head, turn on its head basically.
which in its conventional sense, the wisest of people said it will take 5 years to do, happened in a year.
In supermarket.
In supermarket India. So I'm saying she hasn't pushed back. I keep coming to saying we now sell half kilo and 1 kilo almonds, badam. And the number of pieces of big pack dry fruits we sell is more than the number of pieces of big pack atta we sell.
By volume.
By number of pieces. Yeah, therefore volume, not value. So, be prepared to be surprised how this customer is open to spending on everyday small joys of life and treat India and supermarket India. When I say supermarket India, it is supermarket and e-commerce, all the modern retail India. The behavior is different. And the homes that are serviced by modern retail, they're also high per capita homes, and their consumption is equal to, today, Thailand and Malaysia put together.
High capita homes in India consume Thailand plus Malaysia put together, the whole country.
These are shoppers who are today buying on either e-commerce or on modern retail. So this is a country, you have to create product for it. So where people go wrong is to say, okay, I will create it for general trade, the 5 rupiah, 10 rupiah pack size India, and then I will adapt it to modern trade India.
Doesn't work.
Wrong number. I will tell you the way adaptation is done. Kellogg's had sachet pack. We worked with them saying, get those 10 rupee packs, bundle 6 of them together, and put a tag saying, buy 6, pay for 5. Load the pantry with choice so that every morning there is an any, mini, why now more within your brand happening in the home. And it is the highest incident packs, the highest number of packs that we sell from Kellogg's was created for us by them. And then, we are retailers, we love everyone. So then we went and taught the same thing to Saffola Masala Oats. We taught it
Quaker.
Soulful. Now we are doing it with Haldirams, we are doing it with Bicano. You get a variety pack for 99 rupees. और वो smartly उसमें we did it to chocolates. We don't sell 5 rupee and 10 rupee chocolates. But we sell bags of 10 of those chocolates.
And nicely packed and solid.
Nicely packed, branded. And that's 35% of all chocolate sales that we do. So you have to think for this platform. The same customer, when she goes out to a Kirana store here, next door, she will buy the 5 rupee chocolate. Here she is buying a bag full of the same chocolate. So it is a different playground, and you got to adjust your batting. You can't say I was playing at Shivaji Park, and even when I come to Wankhede, I will continue to use the same tactics. And it is worth it. The size is worth it.
You spoke a lot about the example of building out the mithai category in Reliance, because India is a mithai consumer over a baked cake or chocolate consumer in that way. Everyone in the household will eat a Kaju Katli, but maybe one person will eat a chocolate. But talk about how that insight was born, and then how you created it in the stores, and then you know how it worked within the larger ecosystem. I find it very fascinating, actually.
Yeah. So we love the chocolate, guys, as I told you before. So we used to sell a lot of gift packs of chocolate. We do sell even today.
And Diwali is coming up.
During any festival season.
Correct.
I said this mega brand is using kuch meetha ho jaye as a marketing idea.
Correct.
So why don't we sell meetha, what people actually consume?
Yeah.
As you mentioned, chocolate is consumed by some people from the house.
What about children? I'm assuming like kids are the bigger.
Yeah, there is effort to make sure that adults also consume, and they do. But if you take a besan laddu, and grandmother to grandkid, everybody is having it. So then we always start with the consumer. We said, but why are people gifting chocolate and not Kaju Katli?
Correct.
And the insight was, because I buy it from a no-name place, he gives me in a no-name packaging. And by the time I take it and gift it to somebody, the ghee is leaking out slightly, then the pack has become a little moist on the side, and it doesn't look
A gift-worthy thing.
gift-worthy in comparison. So we said, chocolate bhi to mithai hai. There is technology available. Just help people upgrade, help entrepreneurs who were good at the product, help them upgrade packaging, presentation, etc. And we can do Bisleri Pani Puri to mithai.
Correct.
And we started working with, we used to buy a lot of namkeens from people who made mithai also in Bikaner. And we started working with them and creating branded. And we told them, we will take you to Chennai, we'll take you to Coimbatore and sell. They said,
This is a halwai in Bikaner
yes.
who basically giving you namkeens. But you told him that we want branded Kaju Katli or branded Besan Laddu and so on.
Yeah. So they said, we have sold only in Rajasthan, and then we got our Rasgulla tends go to 5 other states, but 100 saal se we've been doing this. So we said, make it for us for Diwali, and then so on and so forth. What we realized, and somebody in the Haldiram people told us, that sweets are also regional. But what Chinese is to Desi Chinese is to cuisines, which is, it's the only cuisine that is pan-India.
Correct.
Yeah. His Son Papdi is to mithai.
Son Papdi. Okay.
It is the safest thing to make, highest shelf life, and not detested by anyone, liked everywhere.
Correct.
So we began with that, and it simply took off. It's almost like, see, the advantage of being a retailer is, in one weekend,
You PMF.
I know if I am an idiot or I am a God's gift to mankind as an idea. So we could read it very, very quickly. And all of these were small manufacturers. So after one season, we said, ye akhele se to na hona paye. Because building national brand, etc., is not merely getting the products right.
Correct.
You need to build an organization, you need to build culture, you need to get your finances. I said, ye to bahut time lagayegi, ye dulan bahut time lagayegi, each individual one. So we said, let's go look for there are regional guys everywhere, and we started working with people in every region. We found Bachchu Bhai Dudwala, which is 110 years in Bhavnagar, son who had studied food technology and come back and said, kuch naya karna hai. I said, "Chalo हमारे साथ तुम
मिठाई बनाओ."
Correct. And so on and so forth. We worked with a large number of people, and again the same thing happened. The more we kept upping the ante and waiting for the customer to push back, the pushback never happened. And then Amul took a bet with us.
Okay.
And they said, yeah, we sell everything, we create everything which is self-stable and for the general trade, etc. We will create Kaju Katli for modern trade. Tentative. They said, no, we will sell it, only 100 kilometers within our plant. Let's see what happens. We said, let it come.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll figure out. Once they discovered what the sales potential was, they started working overtime to improve shelf life. But in the meantime, we created a pedigree challenger. So the first shelf-stable Kaju Katli, which could be sold in ambient, was created for us by Bicano. And once Bicano created it, the entire industry just went after it. And today, in Diwali, we will sell more Kaju Katli than we'll sell chocolates.
That is incredible.
And Kaju Katli in Mithai is my number 5 batsman. There are 4 who sell more than Kaju Katli.
What are those for?
The top is Son Papdi.
Okay.
Now there are memes as to, how far Son Papdi goes.
Correct.
Son Papdi, Gulab Jamun, Rasgulla, Besan Laddu, and then Kaju Katli. We work with more than 100 mithai walas across the country. And
that's incredible, right? Entrepreneurs who are local food, halwais, etc. But then are also brands inside India's largest supermarket. And then you have an Amul, which is like India's dairy giant, also saying, okay, fine, we'll test it with you and do it. And then, but you're right. It needed a Mikano to innovate on ambient Kaju Katli, which then kind of creates its own categories. Your push, and that's right, the shopper who's coming is probably coming in to buy something else, but she sees.
Yeah, and there are, what I've learned is, and that's why we are such a powerful incubation platform. There are 2 brands at play in the mind of the customer. One is a store itself. This is a branded place. This is not
Correct.
chalta firta thing.
Correct.
So she says, इन्होंने रखा है,
अच्छा ही होगा.
ठीक ही होगा. So that's one brand at play. And on top of it is the product brand at play.
Correct.
So this brand, which is our store brand, we decide whom to back.
Correct.
So a chota brand can look into the eye of a tall brand if we back it. Because they stack up. So if they say, Gwalia Mithai in Gujarat is being backed by Smart Bazaar. If that is a signal that the customer picks up, if she may not have bought Gwalia Mithai, but she will take it home.
Because you have kept it.
And after that, it's between the brand and the user experience and things like that. Correct. Repeats are in between the brand and the consumer.
Correct.
But getting the customer in the mood to try and enabling that trial without hesitation is my contribution to building any brand or a category and things like that. So
I think.
Yeah. So Mithai is really worthwhile, and Amul is now seriously saying we've been struggling on chocolates, but Mithai mein to hum jeet sakte hain. And Ashirwad is doing, ITC is doing Mithai for us, and we will soon have in all our stores. This is the trial period. You will have Gajar Halwa and Badam Halwa and Dal Ka Sira from Ashirwad in our stores, and for the consumers to have it. So it's interesting that it's a stack up. You work with startups, you create an idea, some of them become really big.
Yeah.
And the Bikaji becomes a listed company when they discover the formula to work in India. And then you have large brands coming in, because you need mega brands for a robust category play to happen. So we work with both.
That's incredible. So for you, like, a pedigree challenger is, and I love when you came to our office and I told her, because after you left, I was with my team and I said, guys, Mr. Mala said that we are pedigreed challengers, and we have to live up to that reputation through our product, through our communication, through our offering, through our pricing, everything, because both those words carry tremendous weight. Right? One is pedigree because there is trust that we make the right product, there is trust that we think hard about the consumer, and then there is challenger because then that means that we have the might to take on large global businesses who have done so well in the category. But the mithai example, for example, is very clear that you invest by removing the risk of demand completely, by saying, hey, I'll pick it up. आप बनाओ, बेचने का काम मैं करता हूँ, और फिर उसके बाद let's see how it goes. And I think India is a very entrepreneurial country that way, right? If you tell an Agarwal Sweets that I'm going to pick up X tons of Kaju Katli over the season, it is likely that they will find a way to source the milk, they'll find a way to source the packaging, they'll find a way to make it work, and then it builds out the consumer experience.
Yeah, there is another one. See, when you are entrepreneurial and when you are pioneering something, you run the risk. There will be somebody who will start saying, "ये तो माल बहुत बिकने लग गया. Now let me change the formulation a little bit to increase profitability."
So reduce the cost, and then you start cutting corners and stuff.
Yeah, and then we have to trim those people out. But it's worth it because 19 out of 20 people don't do this. They understand these are consumer business people. They understand that product quality to dharma hota hai. You know, if you touch that, then you don't have the right to win in this. But you think of when entrepreneurs take to something and start trusting, magic happens. Last Diwali, we said, we have sold such a lot of mithai, so we called them individually and told them, सबको बोल रहा हूँ. The way chocolate is sold around a year, we have to learn to sell mithai around a year. So create new SKUs.
It can't just be a Diwali thing, right?
And it can't just be pav kilo, 2 kilo, 1 kilo. Mithai is thought of in kilos. Nobody says, I'm buying 20 grams of chocolate.
Correct.
They're saying, I'm buying a bar of chocolate.
Bar of chocolate, yeah.
So I said, you have to take it to that level.
Yeah.
That घर में से किसी का रसगुल्ला खाने का मन हुआ. Why do you have to buy a tin?
Yeah.
Why can't I buy a cup like you buy ice cream or rabdi or whatever?
Yeah.
And that person has. Why can't I have a choice like this in the home? Why can't I buy just 100 grams of Kaju Katli?
Yeah.
Because मैं मंदिर जा रहा हूँ, पेड़े की जगह काजू कतली लेके. So we threw that challenge to everyone. And we told them simple. For you create your plant capacity for the Diwali season.
Yeah.
Rest of the year, it's working at sub-capacity. Please work on marginal costing and let's crack the market. Long story short, we have more than a dozen people taking a shot at what I call single-serve mithai.
But now that you say it, like for example, yesterday I was at the airport and I wanted to eat something sweet. And I wanted to carry it from that relay store to my gate. Yeah, I told Deepak, yaar, coffee पीने का मन नहीं है. एक Snickers bar ले लेते हैं. Because I wanted it to be filling also, but I wanted to indulge in something. But if there's a Kaju Katli bar available, for example, or there's a Gajar Halwa, like something I can eat and go and walk, it will just be... I see the merit completely.
Yeah, so there is... Why do you need to sell energy bar to Indians? Yeah, you sell your yoga bar chikki and suddenly it is pre-sold to me.
Correct.
Because I've grown up, my mother has told me, my grandmother has told me that chikki is good for health, it is nutrient, yeah, sab kuch theek hai. So, this customer is open to... there are so many things that are pre-sold to the customers. Yeah, we worked with ID on idli dosa batter. We did a pressure test in Bangalore with them. We found, even Tamilian homes with the wet grinder buy branded batter. So we realized this. And we said, having idli for breakfast is a pre-sold idea. Yeah, mother will pull with the brand.
Correct.
So we said, Amritsar mein kyun nahi bech sakte? But we love Mustafa and the ID team But they're building an organization. They will build it out,
over a period of time.
in concentric circles, panning away. We said, hum to sab jagah hain.
हाँ.
Go find people who are doing atta, go find people who are doing other things, and tell them, invest in making idli dosa better.
In Amritsar.
In wherever, in Jabalpur and Amritsar and in Bhubaneswar, and we will back you. We will. So the whole thing in all this is, there are lots of things Indian customer is ready to graduate to. You need to provide confident solutions, and she will take you home.
Correct.
So when we build, and it doesn't have to be startup brands. We took a bet with Amul on masala chas.
हाँ.
They said ये तो हमारा,
that product, by the way.
they said ये तो हमारा बाय प्रोडक्ट है. I said ये तो कस्टमर को नहीं मालूम. Let's brand it. It's of value. They know the product, they know the formulation, they created great taste, and we said, whatever you think it will sell, allow us to multiply it.
Yeah.
Keep supporting us. And we can't stop selling masala chas. Then we did lassi. Then we said premiumize karna hai, to mango lassi. Lassi commoditize hota hai, usme daam puchta hai. Mango lassi suddenly becomes a plus. Yeah. So that was chas, lassi, things like that. Last year's story is nariyal pani.
Nariyal pani was taken off. Yesterday also in the flight, we got nariyal pani with our meal. It was like so refreshing, consistent.
Because we sell fruits and veg. I have so many windows into the consumer. 2.5 years back, we took a bet on saying nariyal pani bechte. The nariyal pani, as nature made it.
Oh, like physical, like actual coconut. Okay.
So then we started adding value. Chop karte hain, then brand karte hain, easy to that's it. And it continued to sell more and
But how would the consumer would come in the store, would get thirsty and have it right here and then throw the coconut right in the store?
or would take it home.
They would carry like 4 coconuts.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we said, this won't go beyond a point. So we said, why can't we take a bet with somebody
With packaging.
and pack karte? Because you're already selling millions of natural coconuts. So we found a startup. The brand is Storia. He said, मैं बनाता हूँ. We said, ठीक है, we will take a bet with you. I had a chalti gaadi in the natural coconut that was selling. We displayed similar looking heap of branded coconut water next to it. And it took off. Today, we sell, I'm talking about very large brand, but order of magnitude terms, we sell coconut water, branded coconut water, similar order of magnitude quantities as we sell maza.
Are you serious?
And so what have we done? Ab to sab log, everybody knows this. So we are working with Real, Dabur, we are working with ITC, with Be Natural, and coconut water has become the main thing. With the startup, we said, next, anar juice. With them, we are now working on pomegranate juice. So you don't have to sell the idea of coconut water is good for you.
Correct. It's done. It's pre-sold.
It's pre-sold. And there are so many of these low-hanging ideas available. It's just that people would think what to do by looking at international markets actually carry a baggage handicap. If you think, and the insight when we were working with ID, the insight was, if it's ID, the mother is pulling with the brand. She is trying to make idli interesting. वो उसमें शेजवान कुछ डालेगी, बटन इडली बनाएगी to make it interesting. She is pulling with the brand.
Correct.
When it is an instant noodle brand, then the mother is pulling away.
Yeah.
She wants to minimize consumption. She wants to, limit this thing. He said, let's play in a territory which is pulling, where the mother is also pulling with you. While again, as a retailer, I love Maggi and we sell a hell of a lot of it.
But do you think consumers are becoming a lot more conscious about their choices? Like with, for example, in personal care, paraben-free, sulfate-free, natural, there's this whole host of companies that are now coming out with, the ingredients are like pink, minimalist, pilgrim are like clear ingredients on the front of the pack, which was never heard of before. In food, of course, there are so many influencers on Instagram. There's a guy called Food Farmer who's made it his life's mission to go and pick up every of these brands and kind of really break down what it means for you calorifically, health-wise, and so on. Do you feel the consumer who is premiumizing from Pani Puri to Bisleri Pani Puri, his pantry is filling up her pantry with value choices, is clearly looking for experiences like coconut water or premium biscuits or mithai and across categories? Do you think the consumer is also becoming a lot more conscious about what goes inside her family or
It is.
on the skin?
In India, there is a segment in every niche. So yes, we sell a lot of organic products. We sell a lot of food products with what I call no nasties. But even the person who is, instead of buying bundi ka laddu from a street halwai, is switching to Chocofil's biscuit, is also upgrading.
Yeah.
So people are starting at different points on the ladder. Everybody is upgrading, and everybody is buying things that are healthier. To give a sense of perspective, I always say, in the social cohorts in which people like us move, the share of conversation and the share of debate on two things. On everybody is buying healthy, and the second one, and this is funnier, everybody is buying digital, but nobody is going to shops. Yeah, the share of conversation, share of voice, and share of debate is multiple times higher than the share of market. So you
That is so true.
you will win at everything, but do you want to play niche or do you want to play India?
Correct.
If you want to play India, then you must have perspective that there are people for whom branded Amul butter on a warm toast in the morning is a lifestyle upgrade. And those people are 100 times more in number
Yeah.
than people who say, no, we do only sourdough bread. My home included. It's irrelevant.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to, it's very relevant if you're a believer and you're creating for that niche, large enough numbers. But then don't say you're doing an India play.
Yeah.
When it's India play, you got to be humble to the fuller market.
But Amul butter on a warm toast is across income segments, across cities. Is just
Yeah, it is. So I sell a lot more organic, but I'm selling a lot more edible oil also.
Yeah.
Regular oil as well, branded oil, because people are upgrading to branded oil. Yeah. So Nakao se Bayer is the retailer's license I have. I get to see people of all cohort.
That's incredible. But take a step back. I can listen to you on end talking about examples through categories, and of course when we walk the store, would love to kind of go deeper as well. But I want to take a step back and talk about modern trade and modern retail and big box formats, air-conditioned stores, supermarkets, like that. People call it in very different terms. The industry got created maybe 3 decades back. People started thinking that India is now ready for modern trade, and there was a lot of fanfare in the initial days about how this will now replace the neighborhood kirana store. And while you now run a 2.5 lakh crore business, after I met you, it boggles my mind what kind of scale that is. But still, in terms of share of consumption of retail, many people say that modern retail still has kind of a long way to go. You're one of the few big format retailers that has been so disproportionately successful, most have struggled. It's a thin margin business. You struggle to create assortments or, consumer experience that is sticky and so on. So people have kind of struggled. A lot of capital has gone in. There have been, obviously stories that are a lot more public. But generally there has been, one step forward, one step back kind of approach with modern retail in terms of penetration. But what's your view on the industry? Do you think that it requires a tremendous execution efficiency to win, and then over a period of time India will kind of go there? Or do you just feel like,
So in the part of retail that I run, which is called value retail, led by grocery, and we also sell apparel and home goods and things like that. Worldwide, if you look at emerged markets or emerging markets, the leading retailer is homegrown. Yeah. The largest retailer in Singapore is NTUC FairPrice. Yeah. Started as a cooperative.
Correct.
Yeah. Italy, the largest retailer is Loken.
Correct.
Indonesia, the largest retailer was born there. Unlike fashion, and that also the higher end fashion, there isn't a copy paste available. You have to, like a startup, but retail is a bigger play, but like a startup, you have to lead your life of learning. You have to die your own death and reach your own heaven after that. You discover your own heaven. Some of them stop in between and therefore they don't reach the But this path has to be followed.
Correct.
And what we have seen is people who done different parts of this journey. To me, it is no different from the number of product startups that we see. Yeah. Because retail is mega visible and the startups are done by big guys, therefore they get talked about.
Correct.
Yeah. If I spoke to you about food brands that have fallen by the wayside,
Correct.
launched in the last 10 years and fallen by the wayside, that list will be huge and long.
Yes, yeah.
I think this is the Darwinian way of evolution. So people who have found their models right, find the Indian consumer willing, and I'm pushing the envelope for our Reliance Smart Bazaar model. I'm pushing the envelope on going deeper into India and waiting for her to push back. Yeah.
It's not happened yet.
I've gone up to 50,000 population town.
Really?
And it works. So, you get your model right.
Town is a very small place.
So, but the 1 lakh, 2 lakh population towns are rocking for us.
Really?
Yeah. So
But what's the difference between, like, for example, a 2 lakh town versus like a city like Pune, which may be maybe 50 lakh? What's the big consumption difference? Like, if you were to thematically put it down?
the data that we see, not much.
Are you serious?
Yeah. What happens is, in a city like Pune, if I am in, say, Aundh,
Huh. I grew up in Aundh, by the way. You told the absolute.
the industrialist who lives in Aundh, or the biggest doctor who resides in Aundh, or the district magistrate or whatever who stays in Aundh, their families don't shop at our store.
Okay.
Market comes to them. The service channels are different.
Correct.
But when I'm in Nokha or when I'm in Nagarkoil, the biggest industrialist family, the biggest Vakil ka family are all nice and shopping at our place. So,
And they want to spend. They will.
they buy their green tea. They know what fabric conditioner is. They know what low-fat food is about. So we become this, when I go to a small town, I become this magnet that I put in there. For normal distribution, the demand density is low, and therefore distribution is not viable for premium products.
Correct.
When I go there, all this demand finds me.
Correct.
Otherwise, they are either losing that consumption occasion, or when the Nagarcoil person family is going to Trivandrum, that's when they are doing their shopping, which means they are consuming it 1/3 of what they would want to consume.
Correct.
So I become this provider, and therefore premium products start selling there as well. So that low demand density of India, I create a high demand island or cluster where this demand can participate in and play. So people who got their models right are finding it. Also, sometimes you forget. When I created my retail startup, and now the per capita income is 3x. So it was 99, 2000 is when I created my startup. So the demand side, all that I'm saying, confident customer, not pushing back, she had 1/3 the income compared to, on an average, compared to what they have now. And the behavior changes. I mean, we all see the, especially in discretionary, multipliers happen. They don't, beyond a certain level, multipliers happen. So it's so those who have crafted their models well, stayed in the game, they're also realizing that, they were not in steady ground, they were on a travelator.
Yeah.
So the ground is shifting favorably going through. Whereas if you struggled and did your mistake in year 99 and 2000, etc., and you perished then you missed the entire upside. So it's not easy. You have to, you can't copy paste. Supply chain you can copy paste. Those practices are global. But this, like I said, this is an asserting customer.
Yeah.
I sell more than 70 varieties of rice. And my predecessor at Reliance was a team that came from Tesco. This is too complicated.
Yeah.
Why do you need so many varieties of rice?
Yeah.
Which are the top 3 selling rice? Let's take that, sell everywhere. The customer says, "Tu ghar ja kya?" She will reject your store if you don't do a rice right in South India for sure, but everywhere.
So my mom, like when she came to Delhi, she was like, I don't like the rice in your house. I want the Sona Masuri something. And I said, my first instinct was, let me just check out on Blinkit if it's available, because she was like, she wanted to cook, and it's 12 in the afternoon. So I did not have the time to kind of go or whatever. And it was very much available, and it made her so happy. So you're right. If she doesn't get Sona Masuri rice in Delhi, she will cook roti, or she will say rice is off the table because I'm not getting the.
So
it is an asserting of.
And if on the other hand, to a Malayali, I say red butter rice available, they'll be so delighted in Gurgaon.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what you have to get. And that's what you have to learn to do consistently every day. This is an everyday kind of business. So, same with fashion. Meaning, you got to learn the way fashion is bought on the run-up to Durga Puja in Bengal. You have to know things like, first wave, first indicator will come, people will buy for the kids.
Okay.
They have the first call on whatever money or surplus is available.
First call.
Then it is women's wear.
Okay.
Because it has alteration lead times and accessories lead time and things like that. And then bacha hai, usme men's wear is bought. No.
And this is like over a period of a month, I assume.
Over a period of 45 days.
Okay.
But if you don't know this, then you are missing a trick.
Correct.
Yeah. So India makes you work. The Indian consumer makes you work.
Correct.
And those who have stayed on, worked, have got their models right. And
keep listening. You have to keep listening. You have to keep
listening. And this one, doesn't listen to you if you say hair oil is passe and everybody is going to be doing shampoo and serums.
Correct.
She'll say, ghar ja ke aao. I know serum is good.
Yeah.
I will embrace serum.
On my oil.
But champi hair oil chahiye. So you can't impose much. It's a large enough domestic market. Therefore, its assertions become commercially powerful. Yeah. So that's the thing for everybody to get it. And because this is happening when the consumption is growing, even if all of us e-commerce players and all of us modern retail store players, all our business plans are met, still the aggregate value going through the traditional trade, the share will go down, but the aggregate value will not reduce.
Yeah?
Because the pie is growing bigger and bigger. Yeah. So
That is such a powerful thing, actually.
and also we are dealing with entrepreneur. Modernization doesn't mean corporatization.
Yeah.
Yeah. When my mother writes her shopping list, even medicines, on a piece of paper, takes a picture, sends it to the neighborhood shopkeeper, who sends a delivery. If he has to substitute, he will make a call, if required a video call, and say, "Aapne mushroom bola, but I've got this different mushroom. Will I?" He makes a video call with her, sends the delivery home with a QR code or a link to pay, and she pays. This is modern retail. We in the industry don't know how to count it. It is digital enabled.
Correct.
It is non-cash payment.
Correct.
It is home delivery. But हम उसको home delivery बोलते हैं, उसको e-commerce नहीं बोलते. To me, this is the most powerful expression of e-commerce being practiced across the country, led by entrepreneurs who say technology पीछे, मैं सामने. Human in front, technology at the back. I think that this is not a DIY country. This is the DIFM. Do it for me country. People buy IRCTC tickets, train tickets from Gupta ji. Whereas IRCTC has been booking train tickets on the computer for 20 years now.
Yes.
But even IRCTC acknowledges
Presence of Gupta.
the presence of a Gupta ji, creates room of a margin or a charge, service charge for him, and everybody is happy.
Correct.
Yeah, so I'm saying modernity has a different expressions in India. We are people who don't even dispense a cup of coffee for ourselves at the airport. We give money to a person who is pressing a button, giving us a coffee. Because we know I can catch that man. कुछ गड़बड़ हुआ तो गुप्ता जी को, ट्रेन में कुछ गड़बड़ हुआ तो गुप्ता जी को पकड़ेंगे.
Correct.
So, and why not? Elsewhere in the world, people provided services are luxury.
Yeah.
We are living that luxury.
Correct.
So I think it's a way to see it. I think digital literacy is very high. People say, but not enough people are buying on e-commerce. I said, no. People are buying on e-commerce. That e-commerce is language independent, app independent, friendly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is on chat, sometimes it is on video call, sometimes it is on Bhaiya ji ye bhej dena. It's seamless, any language. That's e-commerce. So,
yes.
And it is modern. It is modernity. It's not that people are resistant to change. People are very open to change.
But we tend to box our definitions basis maybe what the Western world calls modern retail. This use case of someone writing it down or making a WhatsApp message, sending it, and then a video call, and then a UPI payment through a QR code with home delivery, all happening in 30 minutes, is an exact replication of the best-in-class fast delivery hyperlocal that any modern or e-commerce
Without cash burn.
with good margin in fact. No, absolutely.
It's consumer model and business model both meeting at the same point. So I think. So I'm saying, I in a compelling way, I always wear the consumer lens.
Yeah.
When I see it from the consumption point of view,
Yeah.
she saying, हाँ phone पे तो खरीदती हूँ मैं.
हाँ, phone पे on a smartphone.
फोन पे खरीदती हूँ मैं, but we don't know how to count it.
That is true. Coming back, sir, I want to talk about how you went from a career in India's largest consumer goods company, the haloed halls of Hindustan Lever, in the 80s and 90s, to then being an entrepreneur in retail at a time when it was not clear what the opportunity was, right? Invisible before it happens kind of stage, right? But do talk about your early formative years and what led you to take an entrepreneurial plunge at a time when it was not super obvious that it's going to happen.
Yeah, so my upbringing was really simple and humble. But I was a Marwadi boy. Though growing up in a the residential colony in Mumbai, did simple things, used my education as my jetpack to get out of that.
We were always a good student, diligent in classroom and so on.
Yeah, that's about the only thing I knew. So and I was very clear I had to escape. So I did my IIT, IIM, always had lots of choices.
Which campus are you from? Which IIT, which IIM?
IIT Mumbai, Bombay. And then I am Bangalore.
Okay.
Yeah, so kept doing what my academics could get me as the best choice at that point in time. Did that, and uske baad levers, which is a natural step forward.
Correct.
Yeah, and levers is where the, places like levers, places like ITC, places like McKinsey, they are more finishing schools than anything else. So,
Correct.
Yeah, so there the character building of what I had to be as a business professional, that's where it happened. But the trait of saying simple bureaucratic professional is not for me was always playing out. So, but places like levers also handicap you that you have to do only clean things, clean businesses. So I kept looking for it, and then education opportunity as NIIT when it came up as a franchisee. So debated, wife took it, and the fact that it started running well, wife is a batchmate, so started running well, and we knew that dhanda chalega. Then I used the next logical time when we were expecting our second son to move out of levers and take a plunge and say maybe I will grow there, or they were looking at a management, they call it NIS, sales and management. Maybe I will take that up as a business, this thing. So that's how it started. But the penny dropped for me even before that. Levers sent me to Brazil on a project. And before that, one would, the training and all would happen in UK and, in Sao Paulo for the first time, I saw stores like this with consumers like this. Simple consumers, just about middle class, people coming in buses and going back in what we would call here share auto. So I said, oh, if it can happen here,
in Brazil,
then it can happen anywhere. Anyway, so what I did was actually went back to levers, did a entire proposal note saying, what if we are in 1960 US and we would have the foresight to know which way the power is going to migrate to retail. In India, we are in the equivalent of 1960s. So why can't we have Annapurna supermarkets as levers? Why can't we forward integrate our food brands into supermarkets? And Mrs. Dadi said, who is to head the business, Keki Dadi said, do you even know how big an idea you're talking about? So said, well, socha to bol diya. So he said, develop it further, etc., etc. In the meantime, he truly believed in it. He said, gosh, this will probably end up being Unilever and Walmart of India. together.
But did the idea involve other brands from other companies as well? Or
No, retail is retail, everything.
Okay.
Anyway, so he said, but this is Unilever, so let me ask headquarters. And headquarters told him, "Hobe na. You can't be in your customer's business." So India mein, there are no big retailer, there is no conflict of interest, there is no nothing. So Mr. Dadiset said, let's not tell them. He was the entrepreneurial kind. He used to have Karsanbhai Patel of Nirma on phone. Yeah. So he said, let's do it in Dhulia. I will get you somebody who will invest. We run the thing. After it is successful, we'll tell them. Tell them as in the headquarters. So it was zingy for, he was a big man, super boss that time. And for him to say these things and encourage and egg us on. So created all this. 1 week later, he comes back and says, nahi manenge. I have been advised that it's not worth it.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. So nahi karte. So that stayed with me. It stayed with him as well. So he did something else when he was doing new ventures and things like that. I moved out with that. And then after I knew that this franchisee of NIS, etc. was not really the path to go.
Yeah.
I developed my plan for supermarkets further, took it to what in today's language we would call an angel investor. That was Mr. Damani. And he said, Karte hain. So he had a place which he had built in Navi Mumbai, which they had not been able to sell. He said, chalo yahan pe karte hain. And we read Sam Walton, right to left, left to right, upar niche, pura, we would have these massive sessions and all that. And like Sam Walton, I said, we'll start with a franchise of an existing retailer so that our learning happens below the radar.
Correct.
So I found connections and went on to take a franchise of Apna Bazaar, which used to be a cooperative here. But we said we will run it on our own, pay them the royalty.
Our business.
हाँ, तो नाम Apna Bazaar होगा. So we did that, and the formula fell in place in how. We started on 1 floor, and in 6 months we went to 2 floors. 9 months we went to 3 floors, and
what was working then? And this is 99, 2000?
99, 2000, yeah.
And what was working?
The base model and the belief that people will buy more. Nothing for fundamental thing hadn't changed. And I was on the shop floor. I was doing everything, recruiting from first person onwards, and retail is a very Darwinian place. You can change the layout today, and 1 week later you will know whether it worked or not. So that's what I was doing. Rejuggling, seeing consumers behave, almost like a video game that I am real time in and shaping it. And then we started saying expansion. More locations. We signed a much bigger place. 2.5 times bigger than what we had earlier, negotiated a further bigger place after that. And as these places were coming up, Mr. Damani said, chalo main bhi aata hu, sikhao business. So I said, good for me, because if my key person who is backing me also knows this firsthand, we will end up growing faster. So participated, made a difference. It made a difference to the accelerated steps, riskier bets to take and grow and things like that. So then I took on 2 more stores on lease so that I would be ready with a management cadre. I would run them for a couple of years, but I would have a supply of managers. I would also learn to manage with data rather than own presence and hands-on, so that I'm ready for scale. All that I was doing. But then he decided not to be an angel and decided to set up a parallel business and said, you grow this with internal accruals and I will do my own thing. So that's when I said, well, I'm not here for 3 or 4 or 5 stores. So,
Correct.
But overall, as a person, as an educated person, I was multiple times stupid. Yeah. I had no non-compete. I had no non-dilution of my stake. So therefore, I had nothing that I could protect my interests with. So I decided to protect what I have, which is my own peace of mind and my own learning. And I exited there. So, and well, he stuck to the model and how. And it's amazing how much, how robust and high value enterprise it has turned out into.
Correct.
So then I moved with Kishore Biyani. I had to be a professional all over again. So I moved with Kishore Biyani. Good part was he told me the way I thought about the Indian opportunity and the Indian consumer was correct. And he gave me a platform which told me that that's the way to, because he was also a homegrown retailer. He was not following any standard model.
Correct.
And backing insights was the thing there. So flourished there for a few years, and then moved to Reliance.
How long were you at Future Group?
7.5 years.
5 of the long
So then moved to Reliance. Here I had a simple brief. Said, we are the 4th stream. Cash band karo, फिर capital मांगो. I said, yeah, simple brief for a businessman. It's a good brief to be working. So I did exactly that. But I did my own entrepreneurial thing inside the organization, which is created what is now the Smart Bazaar model.
Correct.
So it is not part of the corporate mandate, but it's a thing I incubated. They gave me the license to, which is to the credit of such a large place, to incubate it. We launched it in I took 2 stores in Gujarat, transformed them, and that pilot was also called Project Dusra because we didn't know which way it will go. So चल गया तो मेरा, नहीं चला तो we'll go back to what we were doing. And for a 9 or 10-year-old store, in 9 months the sales went up by 90%.
And what are the things you did there?
Several things. I mean, the entire proposition I changed. The core thing I bet on is, if essentials are at a great price and the customer's guard goes down, whatever she's saving, she will give it back to you before she goes out of the door. Because वो actual पैसा बचाने के लिए नहीं आ रही, वो बचत खेलने के लिए आ रही.
Correct.
And as long as you're honest about बचत, you don't have to be playing a game with her. But you're honest, दिल भी है, पैसा भी है. So you will end up gaining, not losing, was the hypothesis on which I worked.
I mean, it sounds so obvious when you say it, but would have been invisible before.
Because on Excel sheet, and I mean, I was running an Excel sheet, what I was trying to do, which is to aggressively price essentials, was looking all red. Yeah, from day one.
Yeah.
Consumer behavior changes in 3 months.
Correct.
वो 3 महीना पकड़ के रखना is entrepreneurship.
Correct.
even in a large corporation.
Correct. It's so tempting to give up, right?
It is, and there are people who will ask you questions. No, for me, the penny dropped on the project Dusra, and we would do video interviews with people, exit interviews, so that we heard the quality voice as well. In the third month, the customer started saying, अब हमने यहाँ पे प्राइस चेक करना बंद कर दिया.
Really?
Until then they were saying things like, अच्छा अभी नया नया है इसलिए कर रहे हैं, इस पूरे महीने के लिए किया है क्या ये प्राइसिंग. थर्ड मंथ दे started saying, हम पूरा चेक कर रहे थे, अब इस महीने से प्राइस चेक करना बंद कर दिया. I said, now we are settling down. Now the store wins.
Correct.
Yeah. So I was allowed to then take the idea forward. The good thing about Reliance is corporate here does ambition allocation, not capital allocation. Capital is one of the factors of production. Like you source material, like you source people, you source capital.
Correct.
The opportunity that you are chasing, you get allocated ambition. So then I was told, इतना slow क्या कर रहे हो? We will send you somebody from corporate who is good at project management. He will expand your smart idea several fold. And today we are at 850 Smart and Smart Bazaar stores. This happens only in India and in Reliance. That once an idea works, how it is given wings is a very empowering thing to do. The insight remains the same. The only thing that we've done in this phase is, if you have to capture fuller India, we have created a model by which we can participate even with general trade. And also we have launched 2 segments of premium retail, because we want people who want to graduate further. They've traveled the ramp with me and they want to take the next 2 steps further. They also have to be relevant. So that's been my own evolution. I've stayed an entrepreneur irrespective of the pitch on which I have played, and I've enjoyed the journey for myself and for the organization that I've worked with.
That's incredible. I think in a consumer brand, like India's largest consumer brand building company, to founding such an iconic business in its early days, to then being a part of 2 very different but very rewarding journey. I think your career is, and you do it with such a sense of humility and giving back. I do want to take this opportunity to, kind of just mention that anyone who, like I spoke to Suhasini after she spoke to you, she sent me a photo of her with you and she said, hey, you met Mr. Mal the other day, even I met him and I was so excited. And everyone who meets you, there is a certain sense of energy and excitement and curiosity and just positivity that you bring through a combination of experience, intelligence, and just being a good human. But tell me about being a CEO, and like now I do want to talk about what you're doing with all of that experience you've gotten. But tell me about your journey as an author. So, Supermarket Wala, Secrets to Winning Consumer in India. I'm absolutely going to devour this. And then also, Ban Jao Supermarket Wala in multiple languages. Be a Supermarket Wala Banan. I'm assuming there are just 3 of the many languages itself.
Yeah.
But tell me about your journey outside of being an executive entrepreneur, on spending time with founders like me, or on spending time with writing books. Talk about what keeps you busy, what keeps you excited.
Spending time with founders is my contribution to my business. Yeah. So it is enlightened self-interest. Okay. It is both enlightened. Both are, to me, are equally important. Self-interest because I have to create choice for my customer. I have to make her trip interesting. I always say this, when a customer enters a store like ours, she's already crossed on her way here from home 10 more convenient ways to buy grocery.
Correct. So she's chosen you and she's gone past other places.
Yes. So she's not looking for convenience. So I am like the temple where you have to walk 100 steps to go on top of the hill. God is everywhere. Why do people walk up? And most temples across religions are, they take effort to get there. Why do people go there? Because the size of blessing is higher. It is worth it. So I am in the business of size of blessing. I have to make her trip that she took by crossing 10 more convenient ways of shopping. I have to make that trip worthwhile. Therefore, it is learning, it is discovering, it is excitement of finding things that she otherwise may not have been aware of. Is what I owe her for the steps that she is climbing to come to us. So, and I believe India needs more brands, and both e-commerce and modern stores like ours, they break the entry barrier of distribution. So we have flyovers over the India distribution challenge.
Correct.
So it becomes a level playing field. So we want more people to travel on these flyovers that we have built and be successful. And as I said, when more entrepreneurs flourish, more startups, brands flourish, the leaders also work smarter. On the whole, there is more zing in the entire consumption space.
And consumer wins.
And the consumer wins. And because I am a dating platform or a swamwer, irrespective of who she takes home, she's paying me the toll tax.
Correct.
So I'm all right.
Correct.
Yeah, so, but I work with founders. I enjoy the entrepreneurial journey. It's a thing I would have done for myself for a longer period of time. I had set out to do. But this gives me that participation. I reduce the risks in trial, even for entrepreneurs. The way I reduce them for my shoppers, I reduce the risk of trial and brand building for my entrepreneurs who work with me, or even large corporates who hesitate to try new things. I reduce the risk. I said, बहुत risky लगता है. Let's do it in 5 stores.
Correct.
And it doesn't matter. This will be your rating will be complete. Instead of doing market research, do field play and see. Therefore, you will see various ways in which products can be tried by customers with limited exposure for the brand, easy to execute. I think this market deserves lots of homegrown initiatives which understand India in the DNA, at the Gangotri itself. And it gives me joy, it helps my business, so why not? That's how I do it. On my writing...
was it your friend in business world who forced you to write that one article which then became a passion and then...
he used to, yeah. So IG, Indrajit Gupta, who is a friend now, he used to head Forbes India then.
Okay.
They did a story in which they took my opinion, etc. They said, you have a unique point of view, why don't you share it? I said, मैं दाल चावल बेचने वाला हूँ, meaning shopkeepers are not supposed to be intelligent to the society. They said, no, we'll give you a invitation blog on the Forbes India platform. Start writing there. That's the first time I started getting, because it is interactive, and this is pre-today's social media ease and all that. I started getting feedback from strangers. I started conversations from complete strangers who I didn't know. Became interesting, became a little habit. Every 15 days I would manage posts, etc. And one day, Penguin Random House editor calls me and says, you're not writing a blog, you're writing a book. I said, no, my wife is the creative writer. She's learned this thing. Uh, so anyway, they talked me into saying, "Acha mat karo, but sign an open-ended contract and take this money which you can return anytime." For a middle-class person, when you sign a contract and you take money, you get to work. Yeah. So they knew, meaning this. My smart editor, she knew.
You will end up writing.
Yeah, I'll end up writing. And when I couldn't finish, she also figured out that she had to call my wife, who actually knew the craft. I mean, a lot of the craft that has gone in, the final output, is thanks to Sangeeta, my wife. So she knew that uske कहने से हो जाएगा. And then that supermarket wala book happened. And I discovered that it's unfair. If your name is in print, people think you're a wise man. So untrue, but it's a fact of life. And then it built into, the expression became little easygoing. Reliance also allowed me to talk on consumer and book the way I would have wanted it. And so on, yeah. And right now, next version, which involves Supermarket Wala and Super App Wala, is in the oven. It's in the making. But in between, B.S. Nagesh, who is a friend, is the one who led Shoppers Stop, the first real modern fashion retail in India. He said, "You understand small retail as well. Why not help small retailers modernize themselves?" I said, "Yeah, I have the toolkit. I know somebody, but the person who used to consult for me when I had those 2 stores back in the day works with lots of these small retailers." So he said, "Put it together." I said, "Put it together, a friendly kit for someone who is a Kirana store owner, wants to convert to supermarket and with a digital service attached to it." And that's how Ban Jao Supermarket Wala as an idea happened. And I got hold of the same Mishra ji used to consult with me. And then we put it together and assigned it to Train, which is the retail trust.
Yes.
It's gone into language, videos. I said I missed the capital give back path. So this is my knowledge give back to the sector. And it is fun doing it, and the content thing moves on.
No, for sure. I think what we are realizing from like a small initiative like the barbershop is that when you tell your stories and when you have something to share, A, when you're authentic and generous about it, it makes a difference. And B, there are far more people who will find it valuable compared to what you might imagine. Like, I never thought that this platform will become what it has become. I never thought that. And thankfully, I have a team which kind of urges me to kind of do this a lot more and, bring in people such as yourself who have so much to share. And then now it's taken on so many different formats like Razorpreneur and this and
yes,
that.
yes.
And now it's becoming a place where I think content is gold currency.
Yeah, what I've learned is one, I'd learned expression as to whatever is required in the business context. Nothing beyond. But sharing, generous sharing, and confident expression give you an unfair advantage and unfair satisfaction, if I may say.
Yeah.
The multiplier is unfair. I call it unfair because you're not putting in that much effort, but it has a life of its own and travels, as you would have also seen. And the satisfaction that you're touching lives that otherwise you would not be able to touch, and making a little difference to somebody. So for me, Supermarket Wala is what gets talked about because it's read by industry people, etc., etc. But the big kick comes when somebody says, writes to me from Ludhiana saying, "I inherited this store and I changed it. I would not have been able to do it if I had not read your Ban Jao Supermarket Wala book. to me, that is a kick which is a very different level.
Amazing. Mr. Mal, I think we are reaching the twilight of this conversation, and before we take a walk of your amazing store, I do want to ask you, you seem to be someone with so much energy and insight and intelligence and experience and goodwill in the system. Is entrepreneurship in the future for you personally? Do you want to be at, do you think that you will become an entrepreneur again after the Reliance stint, whenever it reaches its logical conclusion? Now, that's what people say nowadays, right? That, so for example, my father became an entrepreneur after almost 25 years in industry. Right? He was in TCS and he went to all over the world in the 70s and 80s and 90s, and he was a CEO. And then at the age of 50, when both my brother and I were teenagers, he said, now is the time for me to become an entrepreneur. And I found that fascinating. And at that time, it was a rare thing to do. But now I'm seeing it a lot more amongst people who've had storied careers and then, take entrepreneurial plunges later on. And are extremely successful compared to like someone like me who became an entrepreneur much younger with like no benefit of experience or maybe less baggage, but also it comes with a significant amount of propensity for mistakes. But you seem like someone who will absolutely, kind of revel in the 0 to 1 journeys.
I've done nothing else. Also, it's a privilege of being in a sector like retail.
Correct.
Which is at a mega scale 0 to 1.
Correct.
Still.
Correct.
Yeah. I did that when I did my own startup, which went on to, in the hands of Mr. Damani, which went on to become Daymart.
Correct.
Kishore Biyani made me do, he said, institutionalize me and lead that. So he created a cell which is called Innovation and Incubation with all kinds of sundry people, some designers and some sociologists and some artists and some business people also thrown into. So I lived that life. And however large Reliance might feel, my one-line description of Reliance is, it's a startup, perpetual startup at scale. The way we reverse decisions when we realize it's wrong. No compunction. Take the learning cost, cut, move. So, even in this role, I believe that's all I've done. That's what I've done. And it is natural for me to work with entrepreneurs, bet with them, and see them flourish. I know I'm a part. I know what part of Soulful's sale was on my platform when got acquired at a handsome valuation. So philosophical and emotional entrepreneurship, I've always been at it, and I've done nothing different. Commercial entrepreneurship, to me, is just 1.5 steps away from that, ahead of that. It will happen seamlessly if it has to happen. But do I miss it? The simple, short answer is no.
You are doing it anyways.
Yeah, and I'm doing it without worrying about. So I'm like a performer. Yeah. I don't have to worry who is rolling, who is running the roller on the pitch, and how is the grass green, and how the stadium is going to be filled. I have to just go perform my craft, and when I do it, I do it with relish. So I am not missing, and it's a nature of the organization Reliance that it makes me feel that way in action. So, but yeah, anything can happen.
Amazing, sir. A lot of people who watch the barbershop and who have watched the last couple of hours with you are people who are enamored by, inspired by, aspire to be successful executives, entrepreneurs, part of startups, building companies. Like they may be in college, or they may be young professionals in their first or second job. That's the nature of our audience. They are very optimistic about the India story. A lot of what you speak about, right? And my job or what we in Barbershop and Bombay Shaving Company try to think about this is that if we are able to get even one person watching us to jump the fence and follow their dream, but in a smart and, risk-aware way. A lot of entrepreneurship today is about like blind bravado, which is actually quite dangerous because you don't prepare people for failure. But a lot of them, if they're able to do it the right way, we feel that even if one person does it, like if one person reads in Ludhiana is able to change their store around, that's successful for the book. For us, we feel that even one person watching this episode is able to follow their dream. I feel this conversation would be totally worth its while and then some. But what advice would you have for people watching on who are seeing that opportunity and are just about to take their first step?
I think I keep giving cricket analogies. I think
I love those, by the way.
So I don't think the ball has come nicer on the bat than it is doing today. For creating consumer-facing business, whether digital or physical, brands or platforms. So if you're a sensible person and reasonably aware and believe you have it, the time to try it is now. And the good part is, when I tried entrepreneurship, the downsides were heavy. If it didn't work out for me, I would struggle. Today, in my corporate responsibility, if I have two people to recruit, all things being equal, one person has had an entrepreneurial journey, successful, not successful. Other person has had rock solid professional journey. I would take the one with the entrepreneurial.
Really?
So, the downside is also the society has changed, the corporate has changed, business environment has changed. So, ab nahi kiya to kab kiya is what I would say. One has to try once in life. I tried, I didn't achieve what I had set out to do in spite of being successful and profitable at what I was doing. Looking back, it becomes, theek hai. I built a trajectory. I mean, I built on what I learned and what I set out to create. I've stayed in the sector and successful, and now nicely compete with everyone else in the sector. So so as the advertising line say, try karke dekho ma.
That is so true. You think about it, 99, 2000, again, cricket analogies is like 99, India was, if you think about the India tour of Australia in 99, right? We lost that test series 3-0. We had McGrath, Gillespie, Bretley steaming in. The ball was swinging all over the place. I don't think our cricketers were equipped from a fitness standpoint or from an equipment standpoint or from a mental conditioning standpoint 25 years back. You think about Virat going to Australia today. You'll back us to absolutely smother the team, right? And that's the change in entrepreneurial risk reward also. I think you're right. The ball is coming onto the bat a lot better, and no better time than now.
Yeah. And I think capital is serving ideas. That has become a way of doing things. When I did my entrepreneurial journey, I didn't have the toolkit that is there today. So it sounds like ancient.
Correct.
But today, like hell, anyone starting an idea will not have advisors who will build rock solid protection around the idea and the thing working, and capital won't be able to take away post success.
Correct.
Yeah. So yes, life is different. The pitches are different, the environment is different, and it's very favorable for people who want to chase dreams.
Amazing. Sir, on behalf of everyone watching, thank you for hosting us here in Reliance, and I'm sure we'll take a walk around, and I would love to kind of go into different aisles of your store and like actually touch and feel some of the products and how you've kept them and how you think about the categories. But from a conversation standpoint, this has been as always with you, whether I see you on LinkedIn or whether I meet you in person, is always an educational experience for me. So thank you for being generous with your time and your insights, authentic about the way you express, and you have filled me with unfair satisfaction. And I'm sure I speak on behalf of everyone watching as well. So thank you so much. It's been an absolute delight.
Pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much.
So we'll enter the way the customer enters.
Yes. How is the entry part?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when the customer enters, the first thing she's seeing is sugar at 9 rupees. And that means a commitment to buy 2,000 rupees worth.
Correct.
So these are things that are available for 9 rupees.
Okay.
But she has to shop for 1999. So I've created a hook there,
So
which is upselling.
मेरे नया क्या है और डील में क्या है? So this solves the second question very quickly.
हाँ, very quickly.
Correct.
I get you to commit to the thing saying 100-200 रुपए का और कुछ खरीद लेंगे तो I'll get.
हाँ. So this is also your breaking the shopper's shopping list and all of that
Yes.
comes in like right at the beginning.
Right at the beginning. Yeah, इस store में अभी because we're entering fashion.
हाँ.
Otherwise, when you're entering regular the supermarket part of it, then after that 9 rupee is buy anything for 49.
हाँ.
It's again a mishmash.
Okay.
After that is buy anything for 99.
हाँ.
Again a mishmash.
Okay.
The items keep changing.
हाँ.
So none of the things that you see there will be on your planned list.
Correct.
And उसको हाथ लगाया,
हाँ.
so your list is losing and the store starts winning.
Wow. A theater of choice.
So before you enter the first planned category,
हाँ.
I've already made you sin. Which is outside your shopping list.
But also your hypothesis that the consumer is not really a budget following consumer anymore. Like they have more money to spend. So breaking their shopping list is actually okay to do.
Positive game. Yeah. It's a positive game. So I surround her with, buy one, get one free. These are all interruptions.
Correct.
So shopping at our stores is not designed to be convenient. It's designed to be fun.
Okay.
So out of the blue, I will show you buy one, get one free.
Correct.
This is amazing product, very premium, good quality, but democratized in terms of pricing.
And is this because the festive season is coming
It's
out?
because of festive season.
And who decides this? Is the store manager, or is it the category at the head office, or someone?
So there is an interplay between the category team, which is responsible for the merchandise, and what we call the format team.
Okay.
The team that owns the design of the format. They see all categories, and they see season, they see the catchment, and they decide these are secondary places. Then the secondary plan is given to the store. We leave about 15-20% discretion to the store. So it's fun and games for the store also to do, saying, आज इसको खत्म करते हैं, so they can decide and they can enter. So they're not merely implementing.
They're entrepreneurial in their own way.
In their own. Here,
wow.
this is the store's doing. Everything for Ganpati Sahitya. And they have brought together Diya. This is not one category. There is mithai. There is
Amul Kaju
Nariyal.
Modak. This is what you're talking about.
Yeah, there is Nariyal. There is utensil cleaning powder. So this is the store's wisdom.
Pitambari. Oh, wow.
Which specializes in brass vessels and things like that. So all consumption is multi-category.
And there's also a smell here. Like I think one of these products, like I think maybe chandan.
Yeah.
So you suddenly smell the festivity also in this area.
Yeah. So
and your price is very clear. The offer is very clear.
Yeah, so
it's everywhere.
Nothing is so no shame in calling out price. Even in fashion, we'll call out price.
Clearly what? मेरे लिए नया क्या है और मेरे लिए value क्या है?
Value क्या है?
हाँ, soaps is an interesting category. No?
Soap, biscuits.
The assortment is massive, huh? Absolutely massive.
So we sell a lot of pasta and all that also.
हाँ.
But I'm saying that is expected of me.
Correct.
That's not what I do different.
Oof.
So this is our biggest selling pack of Parle.
The 1 kilo.
Yeah. It's finally 800 grams or something like that. Yeah, 1 kilo. This they created only for us. This is Parle Ji Gold. We said premiumize.
And why does consumer pick up this versus this?
The consumer tries.
Okay.
She is looking for good things that she's not aware of. She has the money. She takes it home. And she likes the product. Next time she buys it.
It definitely looks like a better biscuit also. It looks better, yeah.
It is higher density as well. It's a biscuit
Yeah.
which when you dip it in chai,
Doesn't break.
doesn't break. So that's the insight.
Correct.
Yeah.
And they've shown it with the milk around it. It's such a smart thing to
So
do.
it's a thing done only for about a year. This variant was done only for us. Because we said, कोशिश करते हैं
But
इसको
same share of shelf, huh, Mr.
अभी आधा हो गया. But they're getting 30% premium. हंसते खेलते premiumization.
Oh, wow.
So all these 1 kg type of packs are our biggest selling packs.
Even this is a premium offering, right? Compared to this.
This is Marigold.
Vita.
This is a saver pack.
Correct. Even Digestive was an amazing launch by Britannia.
Yeah.
Very smartly done.
So Monaco, you will not get these kind of variants.
Yeah.
Monaco peri peri, Monaco pizza,
Large pack.
Maska Chaska, Britannia. Everything is larger brands.
Is biscuit and soap similar in category size? 20,000-25,000 crores each?
Yes.
Yes.
We sell in value more biscuits than we sell soaps.
In value, is it? Wow.
So this is now we are in the digestive
Space.
kind of space.
So you move from like
The basics
to now.
to namkeens and all that. So
Now the category is getting
there is
penetrated.
logic.
There's McVitie's and so on. Yes. Super millets. Millets is becoming huge now, right?
Yeah.
Even the government focus on millets is now becoming big. Ragi, millets. Amazing. Very fast.
So this is this becomes a pedigree challenger. Britannia Digestive is the leader,
Correct.
but Parle Digestive is the pedigree challenger.
Correct.
It doesn't have to be a startup. It doesn't have to be an upstart. It can come from
A well-established business also.
yeah. So otherwise, Parle is not able to compete with them in the open market. But here it
And
can.
very, very good pack sizes. Very.
Yeah.
Parle Platina also, I think there's
Yeah.
premiumized. You're actually forcing companies to premiumize. And you're giving them an environment where premiumization actually is successful.
We're not forcing. We're nudging. Meaning,
Correct. I mean, you're forcing them to think about it in a very interesting way they would not have done otherwise.
So, funny way to say it, but it is a fact. How do I get Britannia to agree to do a mega pack of digestive? Is to get Parle to do it. In 6 months, Britannia will do it. And we'll do it well. We'll do it better. We'll do it stronger. And it's fine.
They're also fast followers.
They're first followers. And it's fine. This is a big one. Now you're coming to creams. So,
Yes, now it's clear.
so there is a flow and logic in the
Correct.
whole thing.
Correct. So there's basic, then there is digestive and healthy, and now there's indulgent stuff.
Yeah.
Like dark fantasy, bourbon.
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea all these biscuits existed. Oh,
This is a big one these days.
What is this brand? I love these biscuits, by the way.
it is
Amazing.
It is winning completely on the strength of trial and customer experience.
But which
No
company is
advertise.
this?
It's imported. It's not from here.
Oh, you're giving them a large space, huh?
Yeah.
Like at the eye level.
See, I'm not we call ourselves not the last mile of supply chain. We call ourselves the first mile of demand chain. So we don't follow the traditional principles that you have to give me fair share of shelf and things like that. I said, no. You have a right to play. Right to win depends on how you're prepared and how you're active. So this is a marketing platform. So if I want to push this, I will give it more than fair share of shelf. Because that's my toolkit. That's the variable that I. So you will see a lot more dark fantasy here
Yeah.
than. So this is dark fantasy competing with Choco Pie.
Yes. But this Marquest is like it's a distributor or this is a company directly talks to you guys?
The company talks to us.
Amazing. I love that product, by the way.
It's
They've managed to create that sandwich. There's cheese in the middle.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
so Lotte and Orion are two Koreans who work in this.
Yeah. Choco pie, no? Again, a fantastic product. So light.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, so you've gone into biscuit indulgence and now the consumer is coming into savory
This is a
indulgence.
savory indulgence. So there is that adjacency which is
Consumer buy the
relevant
food.
that is created. Yeah. Because this is a neighborhood store, the largest number of people actually enter from here.
This is
So now you will see 9 rupee sugar. Okay.
also
उसके बाद buy one get one free.
correct.
उसके बाद pick any for 99, pick any for 49. And इसमें कुछ भी होगा. You know, it's almost a dare कि ignore करके दिखा.
You're challenging the customer in an uncomfortable way.
हाँ. And this is containers are endless in terms of customer hunger,
Really?
especially women customers. They
You always want more.
always have want one more. So,
That's
but
so
this is a multi-category. इसमें
Komal, there is no.
it's a hunting place.
Yeah.
It's a
Like these two products just don't sit together in the mind, but here you can say, okay,
you can pick any of them for
for
99. It's fine. The orderly part of the store is now it happens in those categories.
very interesting, huh? This is a massive investment also, right? From Oreo. Oh, this is the cricket for Cricket
Ah.
World Cup.
For they're getting ready for.
Amazing. Amazing.
So here, if you want to buy a single pack of pears, you have to bend down. Yeah, then there's multi-packs. Everything is multi-packs. So, and the shower gels are easiest to buy.
Correct.
So this is stacked the way I want to,
Wow.
depending on what I want to sell.
Isn't Santoor and pears, don't they look so similar to each other?
That's how, yeah. Everybody wants to ride the pears.
But Santoor is not a Unilever brand, right?
No. Santoor
Ah.
is Wipro.
My goodness, this looks almost identical. No?
Yeah.
Wow. Isn't there like a... Wouldn't the... Like, I would assume there would be like some legal situation with this. Oh, this Bombay Shaving Company. Oh, wow. This is some of the old stuff. Like, soaps is something which now becoming a new focus category. I'm so glad it's here though. And this soaps I love. I love Mysore Sandals. Such a solid brand, no? And such a retro feel to the whole pack.
Yeah.
But again, very smartly done, right? You start with the soaps, then you move towards body washes, and now here is a more retro, old style, more tea.
And this is all sandal.
Yeah. All sandals. And
Then
Lux.
beauty, then freshness, this is herbal.
This is the herb. But Dettol is also like
This is hygiene now. Dettol and Life Boy.
And who like so the soap category, for example, would you like move? Like you actually it's interesting because you have indulgence makes the customer hungry for the category in a way, and then they choose.
No, it depends on the category, per se, and our objective in that category. So there is a thing that is called CDT, customer decision tree. So we define it how we want it to play out in our others, and then the rest of it follows.
Okay.
So if it's a relatively higher income catchment, then we would start with Dove pears and then move. If it's a relatively lower income, then I have to signal that I'm inclusive. So if I'll start with Lifebuoy, and the whole flow will go the other way, you know. But CDT is what we follow, and then oftentimes you have to do it in conflict with brands. I'll show you one example that we do. So brands in diapers want their world, and they want the customer to shop in their world, their brand block. But we're saying, if the customer's baby is S size, why is she bothered about whether Pampers has an XL or not?
Yeah.
So we broke the brand blocks, and we said the S of all the brands will be together,
Oh, so it's all size first,
all sizes. So
then
it's,
brand.
it's
Oh,
not the industry practice. We were told, they're all multinationals. We were told by them, आप गलत कर रहे हो, दुनिया में कहीं नहीं होता है ऐसे। मैं अपने सिर्फ कस्टमर की सुनता हूँ और किसी की नहीं सुनता हूँ.
So you have S size Pampers here, then M size Pampers here, and then so on.
Yeah, so what the brands prefer in their mental model is, if she's hooked to Pampers, then she'll keep moving with the baby within Pampers.
As the baby grows.
I want her to flirt all the time. I want her to be in the swayamvar mode all the time. So
Swayamvar mode. That's incredible. So here is Pampers, Mami Pogo pants, and
Pampers, Mami Pogo, this is our brand, Mother Care.
Mother Care is your brand.
It's our licensed brand that we. And then there is Huggies and stuff.
Is private label a big part of your strategy, or it's a good way to?
We don't treat it as private label at all. We treat it as more brands and branded opportunities. So when I'm selling namkeens and chips, they're not called Reliance Value or Reliance Select, which is our retailers do.
Yeah.
We call it Snack Tech.
Correct.
My diapers are Mother Care. So my food grains and oil, etc., that we sell is Good Life. So customers don't even know often that these are our brands, because we're saying India needs more brands and not poor man's brands.
That's true. So we have gotten this part. This part is where Bombay. A lot of Indian Garnier is there, Himalaya, Nivea Men. A lot of these are like women's brands that have kind of Ponds Men.
I saw
Nivea
you say
Men.
it somewhere.
Yeah.
Afterthought, you say.
Himalaya Men. Very interesting. Oh, this is our women's business.
Yeah.
Sweet, Bombay, Venus. Again, this is very consumer first, because consumer will say, I want a razor, and then she can pick up, or because hair removal cream and razor are two very different use cases. They're very different use cases.
But they're providing they're addressing the same problem.
Yes.
Therefore, they're adjacent. So when your brand puts this frame, it is using the brand color.
Correct.
But here it's not saying by me.
Correct.
Because even wheat has to respectfully sit under that same umbrella.
Correct. And wheat is our investor also. Record is our investor as well.
That is to me secondary, but this is the principle that.
No, from a consumer standpoint, absolute. This is where we really need to get our game right. So here, for example, our foams and all we have, I think we'll do well here. But this is the holy grail.
This is the holy grail
of entering the consumers.
And like I think I mentioned when we met there, we even picked up Supermax and propped them up like hell for 2 years. Because the need for choice was the imperative. But as a result of that, again, it's the same pattern. As a result of that, Gillette gave in and brought their guard also in our offering. Otherwise, they would say, "No, modern trade, we don't want to do guard." And all.
Amazing. So you say you can't. This clearly looks like a Nivea piece, right? And here it has that blue circle, but it has the Nivea name on it.
Yeah.
So it's unbranded, but so smartly done.
Yeah. For if you are a brand person, you go ahead, feel jealous about it. Ki Nivea ne occupy kar liye.
Correct.
But if you are a consumer, the messaging to you is
it's subconsciously
there, but it's not.
Oh, we are also present here. Bombay Shaving Company here. Awesome. This is so cool.